Hi, this is Grace Power, and today I wanted to do a little book review and shout out for this awesome book that a friend of mine, Vibaka, had told me about. And I call it The Magic of Tidying Up, but it's actually got a longer title called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, The Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing. Um, it's by Marie Kondo is the author, and she's actually like a Japanese lady. And I heard that she was like famous in Japan. She did kind of like a house cleaning show, like a reality TV show, where she would go into people's homes and help them clear out their houses. And so then she wrote this book, and it kind of took America over. I think it is still like gaining popularity in America. So I read it last year and I still have not hit my click point. Um, but I'm just going to share the screen with you just so you can see where to find it on Amazon. You can get the Kindle version, the hardcover, paperback, Audible, and the CD. Um, and let's see, I guess the best deal looks like maybe, I don't know, like maybe the paperback for $6.99, or you could get this, new one for $5.47. I actually got the Kindle version, and it's actually a pretty short book. It doesn't take very long to read. And so I read it like in 2 days, just kind of skimmed through it and then started putting it to work. But here's a picture of the author. She's a really sweet lady. And then I saw something about that she just had a little baby not too long ago. So that was kind of fun. I'm kind of wondering if she's going to change up some of her tidying up methods with having children. um, but I just have been thinking about this book ever since I read it. I mean, I implement it every single day. I'm constantly asking myself the question that she teaches people to ask themselves over every item is, does this spark joy? And there's also little tips in there on maintaining your decluttered home once you get to your click point, she calls it, where just everything has a place. Everything is, you've touched everything and decided to keep it, and you found a place for it, and it sparks joy in you. And then how do you maintain that? So she gives little tips on how to maintain it, such as like when you come home, you empty your purse and you kind of have a place to put everything from your purse. And then you throw away any garbage that might be in there, or sort receipts if you need to keep the receipts that may be in there, or putting your change in somewhere. So that way that every time you come home, it's all organized. And she kind of has like a little habit that when she comes home, she does her mail, her purse, has a cup of tea. And, she says that really to maintain it takes about, I think she said like 5 minutes or something. Like it really doesn't take that long to maintain the declutterness, but it just is like creating new habits in your life of going through your stuff on kind of a daily basis. So your mail doesn't pile up, and, your laundry doesn't pile up, and you don't keep things just to keep them, but you're constantly kind of evaluating things. I like to kind of reevaluate my clothing as I'm going through laundry, looking at things. Oh, this has a hole in it, or this shrunk in the wash. Should I keep it around, or just take the action? Like if it doesn't spark joy, let's let it move on and just thank it for the joy that it did bring in the time that I had it in my life, and now just let it go. One thing I like to relate that idea of, consuming, because we're constantly consuming things, and then if we don't let it go, it's like being constipated, and you just start getting more and more and more constipated if you're not like moving things through. So I kind of have acquired like another little habit where when I get a new pair of shoes, let's say, I kind of take a look at my current shoes and go, okay, these ones I need to just chuck. Because usually when I do get a new pair of shoes, it's because I have a similar kind of shoe that's just like it's way worn and or broken or just it's ready to go. So so I just like kind of use that her philosophy and keeping things maintained by just making it a everyday procedure almost. It's just a constant thing I'm thinking about. And I think that that's why this book has resonated with so many people, is because she does talk about the joy factor and, only keeping things that spark joy. But that doesn't mean that you can't have anything. It doesn't mean that you need to clear out all of your favorite items either, because you actually could like just surround yourself with something that really just brings joy to you. But maybe it's kind of an odd thing. And then getting rid of a lot of the things that maybe you felt obligated to carry it through life, maybe an heirloom or just a sentimental value kind of things that really don't spark joy anymore, or maybe they even bring bad memories. So it's just kind of like looking at those like, gosh, I keep holding on to this for like sentimental reasons or because I don't want to offend somebody. But she just recommends, finding it in your heart to let those things go, and so that you can only surround yourself with things that spark joy. So it is challenging to do when you're, living with a partner. Like I have Sean, I have Stellar. So she does say like you can't go through other people's things. You can only go through your own things. And but what most people have found once they start going through their own things in this method is it's sort of a contagious thing, and then the people around them kind of start going through that kind of stuff too. So I just encourage you to read this book. It's a brand new year. We're still in January of 2017. It would be a great read for the beginning of the year, and you would be in a whole different position by like summer. You probably would be pretty close to click point by then, and definitely by the end of the year, you could be, to click point. Now, she talks about click point being to that place where, everything has their place, and I've never really achieved that click point. We've moved a lot, and I don't know, it just seems like with Stellar, he's always getting new clothes, new toys. I do get rid of things, but I just haven't got to that like click point where everything has a place. I did recently hire a personal assistant, and one of the things she's helping me with is organizing my things. And so I actually kind of have hope that in the next few months I actually might get to that click point. But in the meantime, I've just really been enjoying surrounding myself with things that create joy and spark joy in me. I actually found that I replaced a lot of items, and when I went to replace them, there's always this part that's like, oh, I could get another year out of that item or another couple years out of that item, but it really had never sparked joy, some of these things, or it just definitely wasn't sparking joy anymore. And so like even simple things like in the kitchen, just getting rid of a lot of my utensils and getting brand new utensils that actually like kind of matched my my style that I wanted to go in with the kitchen. And just they definitely spark joy. Like now whenever I cook, I have like these items that really spark joy. And so I think this book is not just a decluttering book. It's actually like a philosophy book. It has you, if you take it to heart and you like really start going through the process, you really just have a whole new philosophy of life. And it brings happiness to people. It brings focus to people. It brings a health to people. Like you start picking out food when you go shopping, more based on, does this spark joy? And you find that if you're eating things that are and consuming things that are like sparking joy for you, your joy tank is just going to keep going up and up and up. And it's really hard to have a bad life when you're just always around things that make you joyful. So so I really love this book. I highly recommend it. I do, recommend going through the process that she talks about and trying some of the different things that she recommends that may not be your normal habits. Or some people are like, oh, that doesn't even make any sense, I'm not going to try that. But I just test it, like just try it a few times and see. Like, for instance, folding the clothes vertical and putting the clothes vertical in the drawer. I, as part of a Facebook group that people were reading this book, and so a lot of people were like, I'm not doing that. Like, that's just takes too much time or whatever. But I challenge you, like, just try it, because I did incorporate that quite a bit, is the vertical folding. And even when I pack our suitcases now, I fold a lot of times. I just pack everything vertical, and it's surprising how much more you can fit in, and just how much easier it is to find stuff, and all sorts of things. Like, I'm surprised that's just not the general way of everyone packing or putting things in drawers, because it just makes a lot of sense. And then another thing is when you come home to empty your purse out and kind of go through the items in your purse and have a system for that. And some people are like, oh, that's just too much work, I'm not going to do that. But it makes it hard to maintain the organization, because your purse just can get like crazy and you lose stuff, and sometimes you can't even find your purse, and all sorts of things. So just try her little kind of different methods and just test them out, and some of them are going to stick and some of them won't. But before you just like poo-poo it and go, I'm not going to do it, just try it. You might be surprised with some of her little tips and tricks, that they actually make a lot of sense, and they do work, and they help you maintain the organization that you work so hard to get to, so that it doesn't just get messy again and just get out of control again. So good luck, and let me know if you read this, or if you've read it, or whatever. I'd love to collaborate with more people on this, because I'm still working towards ClickPoint. I haven't got there yet. So let me know your stories and thoughts, and thanks for tuning in again. I'll see you in the next video.